Time for the YouTube segment. Anyways, hello YouTube. Gonna be watching Actman right now. The Actman's video about why Marvel Rivals is so awesome.
Marvel Studios, it's my job to make sure this company stays afloat. Now, we're past the end game, and after Spider-Man No Way Home, we've completely tapped the nostalgia well dry. Interest in the Marvel IP is waning. How do we stay on top and make sure those
I mean, we all know why the interest in Marvel is waning, let's be real.
rat bastards at DC stay irrelevant for another 10 years? Ideas. Dude, stick with me on this one killer idea. What if we just rebooted Teen Titans? You know,
They don't own the
we
IP.
don't actually own that.
Yeah.
Still a great idea though. I've got it. Big Wheel, the television series. That sounds really lazy. What else? Come on guys, keep brainstorming. What's the next big idea?
Sir, I've got terrible news.
Yes?
Oh
A
no.
healthcare CEO was just killed.
That's tragic.
And some people are even calling this shooter a hero.
Say that again.
I said some people are calling this shooter a hero.
They're cooking. Might I just add that the amount of hours I did sink into the game, I absolutely loved playing almost as every single character except Squirrel Girl. God, I hate playing as her.
Marvel Rivals is way better than it should be. Oh my god! No! He suicide jumped me. Oh my god. By all accounts, this should have been the most modern of modern games. We have seen the worst of the worst from the
fucking
hero shooter
Overwatch.
genre in recent years. Titans and Goliaths have fallen. Recent superhero games have had a pattern of being quickly
Suicide
snapped out
Squad.
of existence. Now what you're telling me,
No.
Actman, in this video is that a brand new superhero game just came out
Yep.
and it didn't flop? Yes.
You heard that correctly.
Marvel Rivals has had tremendous unanimous praise and success. And right now, you know what Sony is thinking?
Is it possible to learn this power?
Not from Concord.
Man, of course Concord had to be called out. Like, Concord was such a massive fucking flop. Holy shit, don't ever repeat what they did.
Everyone
The characters were so bland, oh my god.
approached Marvel Rivals with a reasonable amount of skepticism, and I was one of those skeptics. Turned out, I couldn't have been happier to be wrong.
Honestly, same. When I first heard about this game, I shrugged it aside until like a few days before release. I was like, okay, I'm still skeptical, but I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a fair chance, and I'm so glad I did. It's such a good game.
Marvel Rivals was not what I expected, because the developers NetEase don't have the best reputation
Oh, yeah.
when it comes to releasing games and then quickly abandoning those live service games.
Hold on, hold
Rivals
on.
could have easily just been another in a long list of these don't have the best reputation when it comes to
Okay,
releasing
let's see the
games
games.
and then quickly abandon.
So, Naraka Blade Point, yep. Super Mega Championship, yep. Naraka Blade Point shutting down on Xbox One on August 28th. Crusaders of
Those
Light, Creative Destruction. I heard about that. I didn't live long.
Live
Stay
service
Silent died pretty fast. Rules of Survival.
games. Rivals could have easily just been another in a long list of failed experiments, but in a strange bit of trickery, Marvel Rivals has become one of the rare breakout successes. Something interesting happened with the release of Marvel Rivals. Overwatch 2 hit its lowest player count on Steam since
Okay. Like, not only did Overwatch even go even lower in player count after like this video probably went up, but the Twitch situation was also like we had 200k people watching Marvel Rivals while there was only 5,000-ish people watching Overwatch.
arriving on the platform in August 2023. Coincidence?
But as one trained in the Force, you know that true coincidences are rare.
It seems this superhero hero shooter has sparked a sort of renaissance for the genre. But why?
I wonder how
Is it
good
just
Thor
because
is.
it's familiar to Overwatch?
I played him
Could
as
it be
once,
the
but I
power
kinda
of the
kept
Marvel
flopping
brand
with him.
itself? Why does it feel like the hero shooter genre has been born?
born again!
Why is Marvel Rivals so awesome? Well, let's set up a mine trap, curb stomp that fucking shark, and open a portal
Agreed.
straight into this.
Goddamn Jeff.
First
hate
impressions
Jeff.
are everything, and this game wastes no time flexing what it's got.
That intro cinematic is pretty
The
cool.
sculpted soundtrack, buff animation, and the muscular comic book art style. Marvel Rivals has taken the world by storm, even if she is bottom tier. And while I plan on giving this game a whole heap of praise, there are some pretty serious issues that need to be figured out sooner rather than later. Fuck Hawkeye. What?
Hey,
When
Hawkeye
Overwatch
is
released,
now
it
a
was
little
new,
bit nerfed.
fresh, and well worthy of being awarded
think.
Game of the Year. Marvel
Right?
Rivals succeeds for many of the same
I don't think it's
reasons.
as powerful
And
as
it's
it
clearly
used to
taken
be.
Inspiration. 6v6 PvP with 3 classes, tanks, DPS, and healers. You've got your standard modes of escort payload, capture the point, then escort payload.
Ah,
You got real
yes,
creative
variety.
there. But if we're going to call Marvel Rivals an Overwatch clone, then we need to call Overwatch
A Team Fortress clone. Yep,
and so
yep,
on
I
and
saw
so
that one
on.
coming.
To say Rivals is a cheap imitation completely discounts all the ways it has innovated on a proven successful formula. And what really separates it from Overwatch are the team-ups. These are the bread and butter of Rivals. It adds a new level of strategy and synergy. To truly get the most
Agreed.
out of this game,
I love
you
the
gotta
team- I love the
experiment with
team-up
roster.
mechanics.
Because of this team-up feature, I find myself playing heroes I probably wouldn't have without it. So you got anchor characters which provide benefits to other heroes, and the combo potential is insane. The team-ups really do encourage you to try out different heroes and compositions because they offer such unique abilities. If Magneto and Scarlet Witch are on the same team, Magneto gets this utterly broken metal sword.
Oh my god, that
check out this
fucking sword.
great action right
I
now.
don't-
Cutting him down.
Is it still as powerful as in the beta? Surely not, but I could be wrong.
Oh, we're cutting him down, dude. Yeah, did you see this shit?
Oh my. Hexa-kill, boys!
You have made your father proud, Wanda, my dear.
You have made your father proud, Wanda, my dear.
Is that the real Magneto? No fucking way. I'm such a big fan.
Behold, it is I, the real Magneto. These team-ups are clearly built around the philosophy of, we don't want to make this competitively balanced. We
Yeah.
just think it's cool, it's fun,
It's
and it
pretty
fits
fun.
with the lore between the characters. And that's the right philosophy. There will be a time to balance and fine-tune all the bullshit later. What? But for now, let's just enjoy Rivals
Oh
and
my
go with
God.
the flow.
The fucking
Between the
Hawkeye
closed beta in
damage is
August and
insane.
release, there were 10 new heroes added, and I could not tell you how excited I was to try each one of them out. I mean, Marvel Rivals could end up rivaling the hype of Smash Brothers announcements, as fans will have
True.
all this time to speculate which hero or villain will be added next.
I think the biggest potential that Marvel Rivals has is the huge character roster that just Marvel has in general. Not only the good guys, but the evil guys as well. Like, they're both good and bad. They can just be implemented in. So I think we're going to be eating good with characters.
Who they're going to be able to team up with. But I would love to see how they balance someone like Thanos or add Drax. Where's the Green
Yes,
Goblin?
please.
Doc Ock? Doc Ock
Please
would be
give
fucking
me
sick.
Drax.
The movesets of each hero are
He's gonna be such a
considerably
good
more
tank.
complex than heroes in Overwatch, which
Would be funny if you just had like a passive ability where if you stood still for 10 seconds you would become invisible. Please add that.
can lead to some balancing issues, but it also leads to a new level of skill expression. Wow, well, goddamn. Pentakill? What the hell? It's a lot to take in at first, but if you have experience with like Dota, League of Legends, this will actually be a breath of fresh air. Because while League of Legends has many champions and Dota 2 has many heroes,
Ooh.
Marvel Rivals has 33.
Does Dota
Because
actually
this is
have
one of
that
those
many?
games
Jesus
that if
Christ.
you don't know what each character does, you will be punished for your lack of knowledge. I think a major reason why Rivals is hitting so hard for people is it feels like the gaming community has recovered something that it lost. The game strikes a perfect balance in appealing to both casual and hardcore fans, whether you're more into the movies or you've been deep into the comics.
Yep.
Casual players will be familiar enough with obvious staples like Iron Man, Hulk, and what? Spider-Man? Who put this nobody in here? What the fuck? And hardcore fans will
don't call
likely
out
be
my boy
a little
Spider-Man.
too enthusiastic about the inclusion of Squirrel Girl. Thank God she has shoes on. I cannot imagine what I'd be seeing on the internet right now if she didn't. Another big deviation from Overwatch is that
The
Marvel
internet.
Rivals is played in third person and not first. This is great because it means I can goon mid-match to Venom's suspiciously toned hindquarters.
Agreed.
But it is nice to be able to see the awesome
Venom
skins
does have the
you've
best ass
unlocked
in
or
the game.
purchased, like all the time, instead of just when you emote or in the highlight intro or whatever. Of course, no game is ever perfect.
I mean,
and Rivals'
perfection
biggest
would
flaw
be
is
impossible.
favoritism. There are 7 healers, 8 tanks, and a whopping 18 DPS heroes.
You know what? Why this kind of is true that it is a negative point is because lobbies are kind of filled with majority DPS. Like everyone has their favorite DPS. No, I mean that's very factual. I like to play Hawkeye, Bucky, or Spider-Man sometimes, even Psylocke. You know, so those are good characters. I really enjoy playing, and I kind of wish I could play as them every game. But because the roster is so unbalanced with the tanks and the healers, like with the choices, that we usually end up with either having no healer, one healer, or just no tanks in general. So, yeah.
There's more duelists than both strategists and vanguards combined. So what ends up happening is...
You can't go in with 3 DPS, Dutch. Dutch, what are we doing, Dutch? You see your 4th teammate pick
Yep, exactly that.
The 4th DPS.
and
you're
no
like,
healers.
What are we doing,
What are we
Dutch?
doing, Dutch?
If you ever check the scoreboard and it looks like this, you might
Oh, the enemy team. What the fuck?
want to look around your house and see if you're surrounded by fire and brimstone, because you might be in hell. I don't know what they were thinking making Wolverine a DPS character. This discrepancy between hero classes means you'll see certain healers and tanks way more often than some of the more niche DPS picks. A lot of folk that make
Black Widow's not bad, but Hawkeye has everything she doesn't.
strategist and healer right now are probably feeling disgruntled that they're constantly forced into this role because the rest of their teammates just want to get kills. Can you switch to tank? Nope.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
I don't care if we lose.
Makes sense now. You trash.
God. Every champion is a lot of fun to play. The only exceptions might be Storm and Black Widow, whose kits feel underdeveloped. But then you got characters like Moon Knight, who can put these onks down that do devastating damage to an enemy team. He doesn't even have to aim. Random bullshit, go! Penny Parker is one of my favorites, one of my mains, because you can set up all these mines and webs for cheese kills. Oh, nice try, man.
Penny Parker is like the worst to go up against because of all those mines. They do need a nerf, I'll be honest. If she has a, like, if your team gets wiped and that gap in time, she has all the time in the world to set up a perfect trap.
Magic, yeah, walk into the spider webs. And have you heard of the Winter Soldier? Well, 'tis the season. This guy's strong
Again.
as fuck. He can wipe the enemy
Again.
team again,
And again.
Parasite, rise up and I will kill you again and again, again and again, again and again, again and again.
While
This is trauma-inducing. I'm getting
some
PTSD.
abilities obviously have their Overwatch counterpart, most characters feel completely unique. Doctor Strange has a portal, man.
God, I love
We've
that.
seen portals in single player and multiplayer with Portal and Splitgate, but never in a hero shooter. This
True.
one ability is such a game
It's a game changer.
It can be comboed
I
in
know this-
entirely
I know the
unique ways
script.
with every character on the roster. It's impressive how they even made this work. It's the coolest ability in the game.
It is kind of trippy from perspectives there.
Arguably, Marvel Rivals' biggest strength comes down to its sex factor. I mean, X factor.
I
No
agree.
gooning allowed.
What do you
I'm
mean,
talking
no
about its
gooning
style
allowed?
and presentation. Everything from the menus, the user interface, the costumes,
I love the
outfits,
animations. They
skins,
are still look so
particle
polished.
effects,
The
idle
animations look so
animations.
good.
The artists did 10 out of 10 work. They did not skimp out on the budget with these character designs, and thank God they didn't, because guess what? A hero shooter has to sell you on its heroes.
That is
they
true.
do got some pretty... Oh my God, this is insane.
Yep.
Wow, that's actually nutty as fuck. Man, if only they could AI generate these types of animations and skins, wouldn't that be great?
Shut up,
We need
Ackman.
more.
But beneath this comic book visual art style, there are some surprisingly detailed character models. Let's just say there are no secrets underneath.
I
And boy,
see.
oh boy, they know what audience they were catering to.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is a direct attack on Overwatch's Gooner community. Isn't that crazy? Shifting focus
There's-
back to...
As much as I approve of the statement on how they added those models, nothing can beat Overwatch Rule 34 at this point. Have you seen like P-Hub? Like P-Hub, if you just search up Overwatch, oh lord. The quality of animations, man. You might as well make a whole fucking 2-hour movie out of those quality animations.
The video game, the Marvel IP does a ton of heavy lifting, obviously providing legendary, storied, iconic characters that we've all known for decades and decades. You know what's really impressive, coming from the Halo community? I haven't seen a single fucking person complain about the art style. Not one. Rivals definitely leans more into a comic book, exaggerated, unrealistic art style, as opposed to realistic, normal body proportions.
No.
And I couldn't be happier. Seeing
I like
how
the
wide
cartoonish
Thor is,
look.
he's just a fucking unit. And in the goofy ass way that Captain America runs, like, perfect. The designs
is
of the
perfect.
characters are
Everything about it is
familiar, but they're
perfect.
also not exactly direct rip-offs from any established Marvel media. They feel unique. This comic book inspiration is seen everywhere. From just hovering over them in the menus, they pop out of their portrait. A quite literal way of showing characters so real they leap off the page. That some of the skins contain unorthodox buffs.
I think it's funny. I
do
don't
you
know if you
mean?
pointed this out in your video, but there's like actual skins that just like actually just buff like the butt sizes of characters. Look between the Black Widow movie skin and her regular. Tell me that is
Hold
not
on.
different.
Oh lord.
The angles are hard. I'm gonna have to analyze this in post. What's also nice is that you can
Damn.
share
I
highlights.
didn't know that
watch
about the
best
Black Widow
moments from your
skin.
fellow teammates after a match, and
Goddamn.
what's this? You can save replays, watch them later, even record from different angles. By God, ladies and gentlemen, a working theater mode.
I don't believe it!
But Marvel Rivals has taken a
Something
big gamble
Overwatch
and done
took ages
something
to
I
make
haven't seen
work.
in any other MOBA or hero shooter. Destructible environments. What? How unexpected.
A surprise, to be sure.
I like that feature.
I mean, I fucking love a good Levolution in Battlefield, but a hero shooter? Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure, because when we're playing as the biggest and baddest heroes from the Marvel universe, like, well, haven't you seen the movies? Wherever they fight, the place gets fucked up, destroyed.
That's
And
true.
it just wouldn't feel right if Iron Man's ult didn't destroy every building in sight around you. You wouldn't feel like the Hulk if you couldn't break down walls with your bare hands. Pressing the B key on PC allows you to see everything that's destructible. And it's
You
not
can
just some
press
cheap
B to
gimmick.
see
You can reveal
destructible
hidden
environment?
pathways, shoot a hole through a wall to open up a secret sightline, or completely destroy structures that provide cover for the enemy. It's a really dynamic
didn't know
element
that.
of
What
the
the
game
fuck?
that keeps the moment-to-moment combat exciting, as you never know when something's gonna blow up and force you to react and respond to it. I think it's also cool that the environments rebuild themselves over a period
I think that's only certain environment. It's not every single environment. That just rebuilds
of
itself.
time. So once something's destroyed, you know, it's not just like a flat, empty landscape. Knowing how map layouts change and are destroyed is part of the skill gap. Like in the Hydra base, where the center point switches between high ground and low ground.
I do
This
love
game
the
doesn't have
dynamic
a
maps.
large amount of maps, but the ones it has are of the highest quality. No snowbound or derail. What's even more impressive is that you don't really have to take the map into consideration when you pick a hero, as they've all been made to accommodate each hero's kit and playstyle. Thor's ult, for example,
I never thought about that, but that is so fucking true. I always just pick the hero I like to play. I don't think about the map.
is much better used in an environment with a high ceiling. Using it in claustrophobic environments just makes you an easy immobile target to burst down. Groot's thorn walls can give him a little bit of high ground,
Oh, I've seen
allowing
that
him
clip.
to jump over narrow gaps or sometimes even save himself from a certain death. Pretty much every hero has some kind of movement ability, whether it's a glide, a dash, sprinting, skating, double jumps. And then there's Adam Warlock, who gets to fly for a brief moment when he dies. Now, I'm not surprised by this, but it is regrettable that despite the unlimited well of ideas they can pull inspiration from the entire Marvel IP, there is a startling lack of game mode variety. Right now, most players are focused on having fun or ranking up and mastering their...
I wonder what kind of game modes you could even develop, except like maybe, you know, the classic deathmatch to kill time and stuff like that.
favorite heroes. But casual players don't stick around long if there isn't casual fun to be had. The more casuals that leave, the sweatier and less fun the game becomes overall for the general audience.
Agreed.
So it's important to include wacky fun modes like, oh my god, Jeff the Land Shark in Winter Wonderland. It's beautiful. Jarvis, don't twist his nutsack. Actually, I like Jeff the Shark now. They even reworked Jeff's
I've seen gameplay of this. I never played the game mode myself,
Modes like
but
this
it's
are
like
a wacky distraction that can take you out of the more competitive,
It's
sweaty
nice.
parts of the game. A big improvement from Overwatch is that I'm pretty sure when you're on offense, the payload will move forward if there's no enemies nearby.
yeah, that's true. As long like even if your team is not on the payload, it will move forwards because your team captured it. But the enemy team can just equally capture it back to stop it. So you do have to be cautious about that.
Which means you're not locked into sitting on the payload in order to progress it. You can actually push forward and really take advantage of a good offensive. It means you don't have to take yourself out of the action to push the objective, and that's a huge improvement. Marvel Rivals also has a tournament mode. I mean, this game is built for spectating in esports. It has the potential. This is great because Marvel Rivals now offers the chance for anybody to compete. And who knows? The next XQC might be around the corner.
No. God, I hate XQC with how it
talks. A little
talks.
controversial, okay? There's a big question that needs answering. The world has been losing their mind over this. Does Marvel Rivals need role queue?
No.
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 No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
This is the truth right here. The objectively correct subjective opinion. Role queue is anti-fun. Overwatch and League of Legends don't have a team-up feature where specific heroes are made to work together. So adding in a role queue would restrict team composition and player choice and agency so much. My god. We're actually doing it with this dumb shit fucking comp. Oh my god, we got it! Yo! You wouldn't be able to swap roles when one isn't working out. With role queue, you don't have that option.
I hate when role queue is restrictive because, yeah, as he said, it's like, what if the thing you're playing as is just not working out? You can't ask the other DPS or like tank to be like, hey, can we like swap? I'm not doing so well on support. You know, just common sense things that Overwatch clearly did not think about.
Counterpicks aren't super prevalent in Marvel Rivals, but it is still part of the game. If you add role queue and you make every single fucking casual and competitive match consist of 2 duelists...
I mean, with the counter picks, it's mostly the ranged characters that are really good at just either taking out flying opponents like Iron Man or Storm. But other than that, yeah.
2 tanks,
you just go with whatever you feel
vanguards.
like.
I'm gonna lose my mind and my interest very quickly. Lucky for us, ladies and gentlemen, pop the champagne bottles. It's a new year. The developers have confirmed that role queue and Marvel Rivals is not a priority at the moment.
Oh, hell yeah.
Let us take our victory lap because these guys are making all the right moves with this game, in my opinion. Let's just enjoy the casual, stupid fun with Rivals instead of immediately trying to pressure the devs to optimize the fun out of it. The whole point of the team-ups is to encourage teamwork and not be a one-trick pony. Your team hasn't picked the healer? Be the change you want to see in the world. Pick Adam Warlock, pull off some clutch heals, and watch your team
That's
praise
so
the ever-loving shit out of
biased
you.
as well.
Alright, I'll bring your dumbass back. Oh, you are so fucking... Oh my god, I am hard carrying you right now.
Dude, shut the fuck up, okay?
What? I saved your ass twice! That's the third time I've saved your ass.
You're the support main. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you're supposed to thank my stupid ass. Casual play is one thing,
Well,
but
I
taking
mean-
a game like Marvel Rivals to the competitive level, well, you start to see the cracks. Example
Okay,
A.
let's
This
see the
adorable
cracks.
little bastard.
He got nerfed. He got nerfed. It's okay.
Jeff's ult is the ultimate
Jeff
troll.
got
You suck
nerfed,
up
it's okay.
everybody in a wide circle with a janky hitbox that for some reason spreads all the way up vertically. The issue is almost everyone is using this ultimate the same way. To suicide dive off the map and score cheap, easy team
Even had
wipes.
teammates
Jeff
in
is a
him.
character whose ult is fun
That
and
Jeff
cool.
was
It offers unique
unhinged.
gameplay opportunities, but he needs to be balanced more like Tom Kench. I like the impact Jeff's ult has, but there has to be a drawback. Some incentive to use it more carefully or decide if you want to spit out teammates or not, instead of everybody using it as a fucking kamikaze technique.
Yep.
Slowing Jeff's movement
Yep.
based on
That's-
the number of heroes he eats would balance it out nicely.
You know what? That's a good proposition, actually. The more enemies you eat, the slower you move.
And allowing him
I
to
like
shoot
that.
out heroes
Do
individually
that, Marvel
to
Rivals.
speed himself up. You got a unique interaction there. Now let's be real, every ultimate in the game is powerful as shit. And while it feels nice to pop an ult and immediately start whooping some ass or rescue your team, the issue is that so many ultimates start before the voice line is finished. The audio cue that indicates you're about to be punched in the face
Ooh,
by Iron
Knight.
Cock, or the enemy team is about to become immortal for 8 seconds. So defensively, you have very little time to react to something like Psylocke's ult, which does 150
I mean, Overwatch had
damage
like the
per
same
hit
problem.
and hits twice per second. So if
Soldier
she solo ults
76,
you, you've got
Zenyatta.
about 1 second to live, kiddo. Ults like this can sometimes
Fucking
feel cheap
Tracer.
and impossible to counter
So
or
many
survive.
characters have
On the
this
flip
issue.
side, there's time to react to Iron Man and Scarlet Witch's ult because they're very
It's,
telegraphed.
not every
But again, for
character will have a
characters like
super telegraphed
Spider-Man,
ult.
Winter Soldier, it's hard to react to, which can be frustrating when you're on the receiving end, but it's not so bad because respawn timers are pretty quick. Luna Snow's ult is probably the best in the support category as it makes her and everyone on her team immortal if they stand in the circle. There's also been an exploit discovered where you can rapidly toggle for healing and damage boost to get both at the same time.
Oh
Fix
my
that
God,
shit,
that's a
please.
seizure.
No BXRs. This isn't Halo 2. We're no Smash Melee. None of that. Marvel Rivals should reward skill, not knowledge of exploits. On the official website, you can see the relevant stats for each hero, and it is eye-opening to say the least. Iron
is-
Man's ult
what does that mean?
1,000 damage. Jarvis, twist their nutsacks. Oh,
God,
and you
they-
can shoot it through a Doctor Strange portal to hit your opponents from an angle they'll never
I mean, you can
notice
one-shot
until it's too late. This
Luna
game does
Snow when
encourage
she's in her
creativity and
ult.
thinking outside the box. When two players link up in perfect synergy like this, it becomes nearly impossible for the opponents to avoid death. Kills feel rewarding, and dying not so punishing. This game
Yeah,
already has
pretty
a
much agreed on
Punisher
that.
of its own.
Kill me.
And how about our boy Hawkeye? Isn't it ironic that the one guy who technically doesn't have superpowers is the most overpowered?
Everyone look at the health
I find
bar.
that
Look at their
irony.
Health bars of yeah.
Look at this.
3 times
You
it
got
moves.
3 headshots. You go good.
No, look.
Okay.
One.
Oh.
First headshot is 302 damage, okay?
I swear his
Second
damage
hit
got
is not a
nerfed, right?
headshot.
I'm not
Not a
tripping.
headshot, yeah.
306
Boom.
damage. Yeah.
Yeah, you
3
go coach. I'm
shots.
pretty sure
He's
the
got
Hawkeye
the next
go to-
arrow
go to
cooked.
his- go to-
Look
go
at
to
it.
his POV.
Look at
Go
him.
to his TV.
He's got
Go to
the
his TV.
Easy, dude.
What?
He cooked you.
What?
You just cooked you.
cooked
You
you.
could have bubbled
What do you mean he cooked me? This is bullshit.
and go attack the Hawkeye.
Look at look.
Did he execute you?
Look. Look at how
Oh,
broken
that-
this
yeah,
shit
he
is.
Cooked
He
you.
You fucking
Holy
idiots
shit.
are talking shit about my play? That happened in 2.5 seconds. What was I supposed to do?
Bubble.
What the fuck was I supposed to do? At a competitive level, a really good Hawkeye will demolish you and the fairness of a match. He's frustrating for the same reasons
just
Hanzo
the spam
used
left
to be
click.
frustrating. But the big difference is Hanzo used to not have escape options or get off me moves. Hawkeye gets both, and his headshots can deal a maximum of 384 damage, enough to one-shot 75% of the heroes and leave all tanks dead or within 100
I swear
HP
that
of
damage
death
got nerfed,
after
or at
2
least some
shots.
damage fall off was
Hawkeye,
given.
when he's in the right hands, is simply not fun to play against. It reminds me of the Black Cleaver
Or maybe I'm
meta
just trash with
Riven.
Hawkeye.
This motherfucker can 3-shot Hulk. Despite a lot of imbalanced imperfections, Marvel Rivals has had one of the best launches in recent memory for a multiplayer live
Yeah,
service.
that
And these
player
small hiccups
count is
aren't enough
evident
to
of it.
significantly derail its momentum. But they are things that will probably
What the
need to
fuck?
be fixed in
Parries?
the future. And who
Did
knows?
he just parry the shots?
They are things
You can parry shots with Hawkeye? What?
that will probably need to be fixed in the future. And who knows? Maybe I'm just talking shit and the fan base simply needs time to adjust to each character's kit and learn how to counter it. But Marvel Rivals is not just pretty to look at. I would say the sound design rivals the art direction. Every map has its own thematic suite of tracks, with music for the loading screen, hero selection, countdown, end of match.
the amount of
total length
detail
the
is just
soundtrack
insane.
Short, but by the beard of Zeus is it sweet. Now, we're all familiar with the actors who play our favorite heroes up on the big screen, but take a look at how stacked this game is with voice actor talent. Troy Baker, Yuri Lowenthal, Brian Bloom, who I immediately recognized as the voice of Varric from Dragon Age, Steve Bloom.
Berserker!
Fucking Tank Dempsey is in this. Nolan North as Rocket Raccoon. Do you guys realize NetEase has assembled an all-star cast for this game, including
True,
3
they
of
do
the
have,
4
like,
legendary
an
OG
amazing
COD
team.
Zombies cast. Not to mention Nika Futterman as Hela, aka Ventress from the Clone Wars. These highly talented, experienced voice actors bring an immense presence to the game and each hero. Many of them have voiced these characters before, and given how fantastic they are at their jobs, I can't wait for them to all be replaced by AI. Imagine replacing your voice cast like that. Not for 1 second have I ever felt like, you know, that doesn't really sound or look like Rocket Raccoon.
That's true.
Immersing
The voice
myself
actors
as
have
each
done an
hero I
amazing
play
job.
is automatic, and the ultimate voice lines go way harder than they need to.
Fear Magneto! Armed and
No, not that one. Jesus Christ, 3 days after he was crucified.
born again!
There's just something about the old lines that just goes so hard.
The bottom line, the heroes in Marvel Rivals are perfect in terms of design, aesthetic, and voiceover. How they work gameplay-wise is a bit of a different story, but it's easy to feel a sense of pride in the character you choose to main. Now let's talk monetization.
Oh, here we
this
go.
is where free-to-play games tend to fuck up the most. After the closed beta back in July and August, the #1 request in the surveys from fans was to unlock all heroes for everyone at release.
Okay,
Guess
okay.
what they did? Exactly
They
that.
gave us all
Now
the
that's
heroes.
what I call a big win. You see, Marvel Rivals is a game that should be free because it has the perfect formula for monetization that doesn't fuck with the game at all. And it can support
True,
future
that is so
updates.
fucking true.
All these heroes have decades and decades of costumes, outfits, and comics to pull inspiration from. There is seriously no end. How old is Marvel? 86 years. I'm sorry, you've got 86 years of material to sell.
That
For
is so
most
true.
games, selling individual skins for $15 to $20 would be.
All
well,
right,
most games,
let's talk
selling
about
individual
this.
skins for
Let's
$15
talk
to
about this.
$20.
I want to talk about this. In Overwatch, you pay $20, you get a skin. In Marvel Rivals, you pay $20, you get the skin, you get their highlight intro, you get an emote, you get a spray, and even a calling card for the same price. Who's milking who? I'm just saying.
Well, it's a hard sell. but given the quality of the game and that it's free, I think it's
There, right there. Look, it's actually less than $20. But yeah, you can see what I mean. Like, you want the skin individually, sure, but why buy it individually when you can get everything else there along with it, you know, for the same price as the Overwatch skin by itself.
It's the perfect business model for fans and the developers to just say, hey, if this is your favorite hero, you can buy a cool skin for him. 15, 20 bucks. Born again! Yeah, I bought it, okay? What up? Shut up. I've never even seen Adam Warlock in a movie. Shut up! Speaking of, the Battle Pass is only $5. I don't know if Battle Passes have ever been that cheap. There are only 4 pages of rewards, but some of the rewards in here are pretty fucking incredible. You know what? Given how egregious Overwatch was with its monetization,
it's still
when it was
a worthwhile investment if you do enjoy it.
Duplicate rewards, and then with Overwatch 2, the absurd grind, how Blizzard locked new heroes behind a paywall. I'll take this. I'll take this any day of the week over the alternative. The monetization also doesn't ruin the progression at all, which isn't anything crazy, but it's enough to give you reason to keep playing. And let's not forget the potential for selling announcer voice packs, okay? Let me tell you what I'd spend money on. The privilege of hearing J. Jonah Jameson narrate my matches.
Oh yeah!
If you bring J.K. Simmons in, sell that voice pack for 10, 15 bucks, you're printing money, man. At the end of the day, Marvel Rivals is way better than it has any reason to be, because it embraces low-stakes casual fun over trying to be the next esports juggernaut. They wanted to make the heroes fun to play more than they wanted to sell you skins for them. The hero designs are absolute peak, team-ups are an amazing innovation on the hero shooter genre, and I'm just excited to see what the future of this game holds.
True.
NetEase have surprisingly, against the odds, made all the right moves so far with Marvel Rivals.
I want to see how Ultron will play since he was revealed to be a character to be added soon.
You must remember that modern gaming can attack at any time. There's always growing pains when a casual game becomes more competitive, but part of me is excited 2 years from now to be like, hey, you guys remember when Hawkeye was fucking broken? You know? Yeah. I'm excited for the culture.
Can't wait to see what all those content will be delivered.
And I'll be marveling at the Rivals for a long time. This game strikes the perfect balance between pleasing the casual and hardcore fans. And that is why Marvel Rivals is so awesome.
Alright, well, time to conclude the video there. Well, that was one hell of a watch. But anyways, gonna be concluding the stream for tonight. Thank you everyone for coming by to watch it. It was a lot of fun to play Path of Exile 2. Now I'll go be a lazy piece of shit and chill for the night. Thank you again, and bye-bye.